Hello, YouTube fans, friends, new recruits, and veterans to the channel. Here we are back once again with one of my favorites, Grand Tactician, the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. As always, I am your humble and gracious player host, Bank 60s. Yo, hey, thanks for joining in once more. I did have one viewer who had mentioned that one of the Union's famed cavalry commanders, a guy named Minty, ended up as an infantry general in one of my battles. The Battle of Pennsylvania Canal that ended in a minor defeat here recently, just outside Pittsburgh. I went in, I looked at that. There's something that I want to show about that, as a matter of fact. I was thinking that the game knew about this guy. Right into Pennsylvania and the Army of North Virginia. Right here. Minty. Here he is. So I was like, okay, Commander, he's going to be a cavalry specialist, right? Nope. Nope. And nope. Huh. Well, I guess maybe the game didn't know about any of that, or I think maybe I also, that might have to do with the settings that I went with. I don't remember. Somebody might want to drop something about how the generals can appear or have their historic skills and attributes instead of just random ones. I might have set it up where they're just random ones. But what we did do is transfer one brigade, I believe, out of Williams' division and move it over to, because Burns in the last battle got chewed up real bad. And honestly, so did it wasn't even Stockton in command last. It was somebody else of this white-panted division. You see, I got the white pants on him here. You got Minty, Fry, Kimball was the other brigade. He's still fairly healthy. Fry's only got 400 or so men. Minty only with like 900 or so. This unit with 400 men, I went ahead and sent on furlough to replenish. They are from West Virginia. That's just something I want to take a look at real quick. This is where this is a this may be a session where I may do a little bit of just kind of looking around here. If I were to say pretend that I was going to add a brigade, what would it say in West Virginia? Okay, so there are still 1,704 volunteers. Over 3,500 men fielded. Wow, 1,600 casualties. Boy, the state sure doesn't like that. Support 73. Yikes. It's interesting to look at that across the board. Minnesota, Maryland only at 61%. 2,700 men fielded, so not that many. Interesting. All right, I guess we ought to push the old play button, because I did the reorganization. I kind of hadn't finished talking about that yet. Oh, I didn't mention, if you're new to the stream, by the way, subscribe. There's a button right below the screen, of course, and then you could go down to a link below. And we do have memberships unlocked on the channel as little as $2 a month. We'll get you special access. Army of North Virginia took a real walloping in the last battle. Only have roughly 23,000 men remaining. We lost a number of our guns, not too many, but still have 68. And still got a reserve brigade. This unit here, we also furloughed. These guys were all good. Boy, this battery, Ayer's battery with just 3 guns left. I feel like we could combine them with somebody, but let's see. These are all a lot of these batteries were from when I first formed the army early in the war. What's going on out here? Okay. I thought for a second it started playing the game. All right, let's go ahead and do that. We got our reorganization pretty much done. We're marching back kind of closer to Pittsburgh right here, and we've got Schenck speeding his way north. I think I really hit them hard here too. They've stopped. I think maybe their readiness is just about as low as mine is. Thankfully, the weather is nice. Here we go, July 4th, right? That's crazy. Okay, there was something I wanted to take a look at. Boom, right off the bat. We need to start printing money, straight up. And then the other thing on that was, I think we need to start pumping money all the way into politics. Help that along. How's the strategy looking overall? Okay, our national morale has gone down to 80 now. That sucks. Have I been ordering weapons from the factories? Yes. Yes. So for those, actually, I think that's an interesting little interlude. Thank you for that in chat. Let's see here. Where would I go to? Production, goods and trade, no. Policies, no. Military. So weapons, right? If you go to the weapon itself and click on it, you have the option to order a bunch of it, right? And you can select just how many individual pieces that you want. You can see all of the specs for each of the weapons here. And you can see what I've ordered a bunch of for my armies thus far. Federal buildings, bank, market, news agency. This is actually not this news agency. I think we should do that. Let's see what that does for us. Yeah. Peyton. I'll call you Peyton. Yeah, I don't think you order the halls either. I have them. One or two of my brigades have them, but yeah, obviously I'm not able to order them just yet. I think they come to you in advance and things. New agencies employ reporters writing stories, publish newspapers, improve flow of information around the nation. This includes information about military movements, providing a new source for military intelligence gathering. I think that's interesting. I did construct a couple of prison camps. I did do that. Let's see. Let's build a new newspaper. Let's put it up in New York, because that's where we would build it. Duh. Oh, wow. Look at this itty-bitty little building. Deek. Right there along the railroad tracks. News agency. Okay. State media. And by the way, Rosso's cavalry was in the middle of getting into the rear of these Confederates. Let's keep that going. And we wanted to get Schenck. Oh, he's bedded down. We want to get him closer, and then we'll fold him back into the army. Show garrisons, show campaign fleets, show map filters. Let's go with the front lines for now to just get another look at that. We've done a pretty good job trying to corral these Confederates up here in Pennsylvania. So, let's go back to, no, I want to go look at the weapons again. Oh, it distracted me. Damn it, I got to keep playing. Here we go. let's try and I'm kidding, by the way. You guys chat it up. You might have to talk amongst yourselves just a little bit as I'm trying to pay attention to things up here. But that was good to kind of figure out a little bit about there. Thank you, Stoic. Yeah, Das Boot, I love this game. I played as Confederate, would do well at the beginning, ended getting strong. Yeah, right. So that's what the Union was always going to have, was the ability to just roll and steamroll. And that's just kind of like why, as the Union, like even though it's 1862, summer of 1862 right now, and I've been basically, in 1861, if you go back and you watch the beginning of this campaign, I was kind of put back on my heels. And I did well initially, but then I kind of overextended and got pushed all the way back into Maryland and Pennsylvania by the AI, but have since been able to finally kind of regain ground as the North's resources advantage in game has caught up. So you're able to continue to play and grind the South down. That's kind of why I wanted to. I felt there would be a longer, more interesting campaign playing as the North. So let's transfer French back into the Army of North Virginia. Excuse me. Done. And then Shank will go away. How long will this take? French's division arrives in 2 days. Beautiful. That's logistics crap. Hey, all right. This is working. Look at this. Harassing Johnson's Corps. We're out of supply, but I think how bad does it start? It was going to start getting bad soon here. If ammunition runs low, it needs to be conserved, meaning lower rate of fire affecting all those. Okay. So this is good. This is good. But I think what we'll do here is keep the Cav on the defensive. We'll see if we can sneak them right. Well, no, we won't be able to do that because they'll be... Let's do this. Hopefully they don't get dispersed too badly from supply issues. We've got a perk that we can give these dudes. Policies. Here, let me show that again. All right. We're in dire straits right here. A little bit with credit rating. See, double B minus. That used to be AAA plus, and we've kind of been steadily down we go. Part of it has to do with the fact that I can't quite figure out, now that we're in overnight, I'll push pause. I hate doing that, but here we go. Is that up here in the Northeast, I have had, ever since we got into winter of 1861, these economy alarms. Some of them have to do with the fact I've got so many people, so much of the workforce down at the front fighting the war. Others of them have to do with, see, this one was workforce related. You can see it right here. See, very low, 23% available workforce there. And then you have other ones that are more related to the price of goods. Not that one. No, not that one. Oh, actually, I think maybe it's both. Yeah, the cost of pre-goods. Okay. 7.7 million while the goods are worth about 7. So they're underwater on their inputs, basically. And so it's hampering their profitability, hampering growth, hampering GDP a little bit. And so we needed to go in policies to start working this. Government funding, we just finished that one up not too long ago. We got the Tariff Act, which reminds me, that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and bump tariffs up again. I don't do it real big, so we're going to go 5% tariff hike. Sales tax are all the way up. Unemployment still pretty low. Interest rates have gone up. They've ticked up just a bit. We're going to have to take out another loan here pretty soon. But those tariffs, I want to believe they'll help. Let's get back to it. And oddly, this Confederate army, I noticed, has gotten larger. They still, they don't have near the same amount of artillery as I have. And I'm thinking out here in Kentucky, maybe time to, what do we have in here? Just a small garrison? It's a fort. That's fine. Let's bring this cav back. Let's go ahead and do a force march, and we'll take them by rail as much as possible. Okay. Pretty worried about this cav here. I don't know. These guys may not move. Force march, go. We need you guys to go a little faster. And then let's bring you all the way to here. Good, good. Oh, here we go. This combat down here, where we again outnumber them in guns. Not men, though. Kind of a siege down here in Culpeper. Now, what we could do is attack, but we can't. Patterson's men, their readiness is too low. And there are some Confederates on the move somewhere. Oh no, that's sound of the monitors coming up the river here. Yep. More bonds, right? Smith withdrawing. Our corps has withdrawn in the face of the enemy. His strength and morale is insufficient to engage. Okay. Major General Smith. Where? Who is that? Who is that? Oh, it's cavalry. Okay. Oh my lord, they're going to come all the way back to Grafton down here. Major General William F. Smith. I guess, that's not so bad. They're cav. Keep the raid going if I can. Even on the withdrawal. Will they do it? It'd be kind of funny if they did. Alright, so now we're in the yellow here. The orange, as the case may be, and we've got about 32,000 men ready to deal with these Rebs. And we've got trenches. We've stopped the flow of supplies through West Virginia for the time being. And by the way, don't let me discourage you in the chat, please. I'll try to get to it every bit that I can. Keep the chat alive, baby. Now, they're not bringing French's corps. I guess they can't bring him up the railroad here. And maybe he is not able to engage across the river. routed. They've got several more. How long is it going to be until we're ready here? Because I would love full in 77 days. Okay. Dang it, another unit routed. The South Carolina State Militia is the same force up here that we kicked out of Harper's Ferry at an earlier point. Here we go. You got Buckner headed back east. He's still got about 30,000 men. A little stuffed up tonight. So Rosso's cavalry is going to have to kind of guard the Grafton area for the army here. I don't want to lose these depots or this progress. I think what I may do, let's do this. From the army, let's take from Williams' division again. Because now we have French with us. I tell you what, let's take Buell and let's go to Rosso's. Let's send him to quote-unquote Rosso's cavalry. Oop, right here. Buell, you go there. And then let's send a battery of artillery over there too. Who do we want to send? Rosso was going to go on a raid there, Stoic, and then he got himself a little too far behind enemy lines, is what it looked like. We'll send Hazen. Dink. And now Rosso will become more of a hybrid corps, division out there on his own near Grafton, holding steady. And we'll be waiting on Patterson's army to be ready to attack. It's going to take a little while. Tell you what, let's do here. Let's have Patterson go ahead and come to, or no, let's keep him right where he is for now. If he has to, I'll pull back. Like if somehow the South Carolina State Militia wins and is able to push north, I'll pull him back by rail. Maybe intercept him. And then the other thing was, let's bring the Long Island Sound Squadron and let's transfer them. Am I able to do that? Create a new fleet? No. Construct new ship? No. Ships in harbor. We could add some ships, but nothing's done yet. We got a bunch of ships that we're going to add to blockade fleets. I've never tried to actually combine two fleets before. How do I do that? Huh. Yeah, I've missed something. If anybody's got an idea about exactly how to, I think maybe you've got to move ships back in harbor or something. I do not possibly see how we could lose this. No way. Okay. Johnson and Buckner have vacated now. Let's look at front lines. Where did they go? Yep, they're going to be back in this area here, I bet. Okay. Seems like we may have a bit of a stalemate here through the mid part of July. These guys, let's put them back with the Army of Kentucky. Gibbs, get back with McClellan. Thank you. You, sir, can be relieved. Then you got the Army of Kentucky. Where are they here? And it's going to take 3 days to reincorporate these fellas. That's fine. We'll be back up to, 13,000 men or so, which will match the Confederates. Sometimes I just like listening to the music. Oh, that was another thing. Yeah. Okay, these guys don't have a lot of ammunition. We're going to have to relieve New Orleans here. Let's add a perk real quick. Blockade Squadron. Because that's what you are. They're going to come back down here to this port right here. Florida Keys. We're going to get them some new supplies. Didn't we have some ships? I could have sworn we had some ships that were moving south. Yes, was this them? Yes. So we want to get these guys. I want to get them down here near Port Royal. For right now. And we'll go offensive blockade. 8 more ships with 215 guns. The Wabash, the Virginia, the Potomac, Savannah, Decatur, Marion. That blockade, baby. Dude! Peyton has won 3 times as the Confederates in this game. God dang, dude. That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. I feel like, this playthrough is going pretty good, semi-realistic-ish. Feel pretty good about it. This is going to help us too, these northern trade routes. This act investing in transportation infrastructure, yeah, all across the Great Lakes. That'll be huge. Start the recording there. Legal blockade. pass an act proclaiming the Union blockade of the South is legal and that any attempts to breach it will be considered hostile acts subject to retaliation. Oh. Yeah, I don't want to do that because the chance of intervention actually goes down. However, trade with Europe is something we kind of need right now. The supply line that they have running into Pennsylvania, I don't even understand. I'm going to guess Johnson's back here since we see a telegraph station being built there. Nasty storm moving through here. All right, we need to turn these back on. We'll make them yellow so that Russo's cavalry down here can get some supplies again. But yeah, definitely had wanted to get down here and make sure that we stayed on offensive stance. We'll go ahead and patrol you and you. One of the movements that really took me aback was that the Confederates crossed here, or they came up the river all the way up here and just landed right near DC. Troops over here in Louisville. Do these guys have supplies? Not really. You don't even control the railroad there. I think we're going to have to pull back. Let's go. Go ahead, force march. Can't take Louisville just yet. Thought we kind of had Kentucky, Central Kentucky fully on lock. And I mean, we kind of do. The only army that challenged us, the Army of the Oconee, was one we were able to really whip good. Yeah, Stoic, it's a little strange how they're able to just do. Look at this. They're building some mines up here. I guess I'll thank them for that, huh? Those will be mine when I take this area back. And I will. Those mines will be mines. All right, out west here. What do we got? This was the other area that I was a little concerned about. 8,500 guys with no guns. 8,600 men with 35 guns. Is it time for an attack, everybody? The Army of the West under Major General Joseph Hooker here on July 11th. I think it's time to come get these guys. Let's go to offensive. Let's keep scouting. And let's head down here. I think the weather's good. Right? Hey. Took control of the depot here. But there were revs there that aren't there anymore. Hopefully they don't sneak behind us. Here we go. Southwest Missouri. Looks like we may have a minor action. Got to use these armies, right? While we got them. Obviously, this army here is just kind of gathering its strength. I tell you what I'm going to do, though. This 2nd Mississippi Squadron here, the Ohio Squadron, that is, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring them here. Yeah. Let's go offensive. Hey, all right. We ended up pushing the South Carolina State Militia out here at the Battle of Culpeper Courthouse. South Carolina State Militia retreating in panic. My command has earned us a total victory. Reported casualties, 1,280 men. 482 captured, sent to our camps. Unstable morale. We lost about 1,200 men. 268 missing. 150 killed. We captured rifles. Good. Excellent. I'm fine with that. We'll wait for the engagement notification to come up out in Missouri. It'll be coming. Okay, now where will they go? Are they going to go north? Here's our engagement notification I was talking about. Booyah! All right, so, let's take a little live chat quick vote. It's a battle way out here in Missouri. You know, we all only have so much time in this world. Chat, talk to me, baby. Do we play this one, or do we auto-resolve this one, since it's a smaller action? Obviously, if there aren't many votes, I'll do what I feel like doing. Play all. Yeah, hardcore. That's what's in my heart and my gut too there, man. Let's wait, see if anybody else wants to chime in. Appreciate you, man. It would just be such small forces. You can, you know, compress time, make it a little better. Let's go ahead and play. Let's do it. I think you're right there, Stoic. It's not even a question, right? For the sake of engagement. For the sake of engagement. Another Battle of Springfield. We may try to find something else to call this just between us. Yeah, you're right. And Stoic, you're 100% right. I think it does make more sense when you've got long odds, or when they have long odds and you've got like 4-1.